Welcome to Blue Collar Crypto with Tim Terosian. We are here every Sunday at 4 o'clock and 5:30 p.m. Central with the World of Ability Podcast Network. My name is Sue Roscoff, and I am standing in today for Tim. And we have Jim Bannon joining us. Jim, how you doing today?
I could not be better.
That's what I like to hear. And we also have Kiza joining us all the way from Kenya. I am not sure actually if Kiza can unmute and join us, but Kiza, you're welcome to do that if you're able. So, Jim, what is happening in your corner of the world?
I have actually been happier today than I can say in 76 years. I have been struggling for the last year. You don't want to hear about the struggles, but let's talk about the victories. I don't have any food, but I do have water, I have gas, I have air conditioning, and that's been a rarity for the past year. So even though we're going to talk about crypto, we're going to do this in memory of Tim Tarazian because we don't know if he's still alive. We've been trying to reach out to our brother, and he is the host. I mean, he's been the wonderful personality. And I feel like, the carpet sweeper who walks in for Johnny Carson, because I guess Tim really runs a great podcast. So hope nobody's going to, rate me on my skill. Now, my dentures are broken, so I'm hiding behind this microphone. But we're going to do something a little unusual. God told us to take care of our brothers and sisters, and we have an opportunity today because there's 300,000 refugees from Kenya, and their spiritual head and guiding light is with us. And Sue and Kurt and I are also helping this wonderful 22-year-old father of three, I think, who's leading 1.3 million people in Bangladesh. And you'd think they'd be asking for money or food because they're probably the most downtrodden people on earth. But no, what they're asking for is help for education. And this kid is pulling together the resources. When I was 22, all I was doing is chasing women and trying to get a job. And here's this kid leading 1.3 million. So at strategic times during this podcast, yeah, we're going to pass the plate. We're going to ask for some funds. Oh, no. Hang on. Not now. My computer says it wants to restart. I don't think that's a good idea. So we will post the links. Yes, we got our begging hand out. But if you've ever had your belly empty and gone through monsoons and floods and never complained, here's an opportunity to do God's work and take care of our brothers and sisters. Enough of the commercial. What are we going to talk about, Sue? We talked about the two best water ski teams in the world, and you are deeply involved in one, and I was an observer of the other one. What should we do for a major topic? I invited three of the top people in the cryptocurrency market. I'll mention their name. I gave them no notice. Darcy Donovan is one of the most gorgeous blonde actresses you ever want to see. Look her up. And she's smart as a whip. And she runs Income Island. So if you're familiar with Ethereum, we are moving over from Ethereum onto Income Island. She's that powerful. And then Hermie, who I met at Breathe Convention in Las Vegas, I was talking to Cuba Gooding Jr. Yeah, show me the money. And, there are a couple of people standing around. In the next booth, they had a long line that had to go for 50 feet. And that was all the people who wanted to get an autograph with Hermie. So he's pretty popular in the Web3 space. He's called MetaRides. And then my leader, a 6'1" Filipino, who I bowed down, and we talked that if we don't talk regularly, we both go through a withdrawal. And I happen to be honored to be one of three members of his company, and it's called World of Tings, Tings Entertainment Incorporated. And he's got another partner, Hype, who's really the brains. I don't even have a wallet, and they all laugh at me. I got a cryptocurrency company, NFT, no wallet. I'm an idiot. But his Web 2 company is one of 5 companies in the world that write software for both Xbox and PlayStation. So I joke with people, if there was an industry organization for crypto, it would be these 3 companies: Income Island, World of Tings Entertainment, and MetaRide. So if we don't get him this time, and maybe we get Tim hosting again, I'll help him and give a little lead time and see if we can drive those 3 here to make up for whatever's been a problem in his life that he had to miss the broadcast. So, Johnny Carson, we love you. We can't wait for you to come back.
That is perfect. I do want to give a quick note of an event that is coming up next week. Not crypto related, but this is veteran related. So we have July 4th coming up next Saturday. So before the next broadcast of this show is July 4th. So that's coming up on Saturday. And we have, wow, do we have a lot going on. So, it's the 250th anniversary of our country. We have also where we do our water ski shows. It's the 150th anniversary of Pewaukee. So combining those 2 things, that's a reason for celebration alone. We also always have a parade in town and a ski show in the evening before the fireworks. Well, in addition, this year, we have a very special event taking place in the morning. This is a shout out for all our wounded warriors that are able to come and join us. Veterans, would you like to water ski? We have an opportunity for adaptive water skiing on the morning of July 4th at Pewaukee Lake. If you want to know more details, if you want to get signed up, because you do need to sign up online for that, and the link for doing that is most easily found on Facebook. So if you go to Facebook, find Pewaukee Lake Water Ski Club and just take a quick look on there. You'll find it real easily. And there's also going to be a flyover taking place at 5 o'clock. I believe it's at 5 o'clock. I know there was a little conversation about the time might be adjusted slightly, but we do have folks from the 115th Air Force Division coming in from Madison to do a flyover at Pewaukee Lake. So it is going to be a tremendous day. Adaptive skiing from 7:30 a.m. until noon, a parade at 3 o'clock, a flyover taking place, I believe, at 5 o'clock, and then our water ski show shortly after that. So we have a back-to-back things happening all day. I know after the ski show is done, there's going to be music playing, and that will lead us right into the fireworks. So bring your lawn chairs, bring your oh, let me think here. Bring your applause, bring your enthusiasm. There's going to be so many good things happening that day. It's looking to be a gorgeous day as well. So we have finally, as of tomorrow, summer's going to show up in full force here. It looks like we're going to be hitting the 90s through the week. So we hope for good weather, and that's all. I want to say huge appreciation to John Schultz and his family for putting this event together with the veteran component in the morning with the adaptive water skiing, and then our water ski club celebrating in the best way we know how. It's a ski show entertainment for all those who gather, and it's going to be a great day. So with that, let's see. We also have, before that, actually, as we're talking veterans, I've got one more thing I can share. Project Die Hard. If you have not gotten familiar yet with Project Die Hard, look up the organization right now, projectdiehard.org. I happen to be an ambassador with the organization. We do live stream every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Central with Project Die Hard Mission Monday Update. That's every Monday night, 6:30 p.m. Central, because there's a lot happening in the world of Project Die Hard, in the world of our veterans. The organization exists because veteran suicide is real, it's a problem, and we need to do something about it. Help us help our veterans. We're all about providing hope to our vets, and we have one of our monthly events taking place this Wednesday. So it's always on the first Wednesday of the month. There's a veteran breakfast taking place, a fellowship breakfast at the IHOP in Paducah, Kentucky. Again, that's the first Wednesday of the month, which will be this Wednesday, July 1st, at the IHOP in Paducah. Show up, enjoy. And oh my gosh, the fellowship, I have not personally been there. It's quite a hike for us, so I've not yet made it in person, but I've heard from those who've been there of what a special time it is to get together and just enjoy one another's company. No pressure, nothing behind any of it other than just get together. And some have found resource while they're there. There's a lot of connections that get made. So come on out and join that event. You don't have to be a veteran to attend. Civilians like myself are welcome there as well. Veterans get their meal paid for, and we always are looking for donations actually to help cover that cost. Last month, we were blessed with, I believe it was 46 veterans that came out and enjoyed breakfast, which means the bill was, close to $500, I believe. And we take donations in to help cover that. And our donations typically do not match the expense. So that is a call out again for people to support that. ProjectDieHard.org, you're able to support that specifically if you like. There's a donate button at the top of ProjectDieHard.org. You can go ahead and click on that, send in a donation through that online portal, and support the mission that way. So the other special thing with this particular July 1st is with the breakfast that takes place from 7 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. Central Time, local time there. Right after that, so that's done at 9:30. At 10 o'clock, we have an event starting at the VFW in Paducah. So head on over to that VFW, and we will have an opportunity for our ministry partners and those that are interested in becoming ministry partners, those that want to know more about what is this Project Die Hard thing? What does it mean to be a ministry partner? Again, no obligation, no nothing. Just come and find out more. And if you are not local, join me on Zoom. I will be on Zoom hosting folks that way so that it's worldwide. We can, wherever you are, you can come and join us and join that conversation. Ask questions, find out more, and see what Project Die Hard is all about. So that is what I've got for you today with those updates. So those dates again, this Wednesday, July 1st in Paducah and online with Zoom. And then on Saturday will be July 4th celebrations that we're participating in local here with Pewaukee. Any questions at all, reach out directly to me. My email address is susan@projectdiehard.org. Again, susan@projectdiehard.org. Reach out. Let me know what questions you have. I'm more than happy to send you that Zoom link so you can join us on Wednesday. And anything else you want to know, just give a shout out. Happy to hear more. Happy to answer questions. So, and I know Jim is sharing a bunch of links in the chat. We'll have to make sure to get those included in the write-up for the show so that everybody can have access to that. Jim, anything else you want to share with this episode? Because we are here twice on Sunday. We're here at 4 and 5:30, so we'll be back again shortly here. Anything else for this episode that you'd like to share?
What a team. Maybe I can ask Kurt if I can marry you. We'll see what he says. Yeah, you covered the time for me to do all the typing. So here in words is what we did. This veteran suicide's a big deal. And really I developed a mobile optimized video site for Project Die Hard and gave it a gift to the Brian, what's Brian's last name? Come on, I'm going blank. Gibson, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brian Gibson. He's the brains and the heart behind this, and Sue and Kurt are the ambassadors, and I'm just a flunky. But you can go to that movies. It's got a video. It's very simple. And if you want to really make an impact, if you want to invest $60, you send me an email, $60. You can go to your local Staples store. There will be business cards waiting for you, 1,000 of them, and you can hand them out like candy. And they're going to look just like this screen behind me. Because if people start their camera Just focus on that crazy little symbol on the right. It'll pop up in your screen. Nobody said you got to take a picture of it. And you just press it with your thumb, and you're there at Project Diehard. So it doesn't get any easier than that. So you can put these cards in every barber shop. You know how they have all the local business cards, restaurants. I do them in parking lots. I stop people. I say, do you love your vets? Do you know that 173 of them lost their life? Not in war, but because nobody cared enough to make a phone call and tell them they loved them. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to save 173,000 vets who lost their lives because they felt nobody cared. They were treated like dirt after Vietnam. Now, at least, we're showing some compassion. But you can make a huge difference. You ever want to save a life? Here's your chance. 1,000 business cards, and then write me a letter. I'll figure out some sort of big award, probably a dinner or a date with some good-looking girl, if you're a guy. If you're a girl, we'll talk about something else. Maybe you get to take Kurt out. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
Maybe
but there you go, Mr. What's he called, Mr. Ruffington? What is it?
Lord Lippington.
Lord Lippington. You can probably have dinner with Lord Lippington. Matter of fact, that is the award. I will pay for you to have dinner with Lord Lippington. So get yourself 1,000 business cards. Only cost you $60. Drop me an email. Give me your address. I'll tell you the Staples closest to you. And let's do something easy that is important. I think that's a lot more important than making money on crypto. So now we're going to get to the topic, cryptocurrency. You imagine having a currency that the government doesn't control. You imagine having a currency that is so safe, you never get a credit card hacked. You imagine having a currency that can explode your business. Imagine having a currency that is used throughout the world. Imagine having a currency that U.S. Bank, Chase Bank, and the Federal Reserve realize is real. And that's why they own cryptocurrency. Now, it requires some education. And the guests we were going to have here and probably will have in future broadcasts, they will bend over backwards. I know, because I was an idiot, and they trained me for nothing. No money. You show up on Twitter, X, Spaces. You need to have some teenager show you how to get on Spaces. That's 2% of all the Twitter users, but that's where all the governors, the politicians, the Web3, the artists, the video producers, that's where all the power is. Twitter Spaces, and then you can get into the cryptocurrency community and NFT, which are artists and authors and creative types, and they will bend over backwards to teach you this new currency. So how's that? You get an education, which is the equivalent of a master's degree, and you know what those cost today? At least 25 grand a year, at least. Some of them, my daughter's school is $75,000 a year. That's a little egotistically, don't you think? But these people will give you that level of education in the crypto market, hold your hand, walk you through how to create a wallet, making sure that your numbers are safe. And I mean, it's like 6 numbers of 10 digits. There is nobody that's going to hack that, including Frank Abagnale, who I had the pleasure of meeting a long time ago. He was wanted in 160 countries. You know how they have the 10 most wanted in the post office? He was in every post office in 160 countries. And they made a little movie about him with, what's his name? DiCaprio. And it was called Catch Me If You Can. It takes a thief. And he had a TV commercial. And I had dinner with him in Morristown, Tennessee in about 1978. And I cried when I heard his life story. It'll take the heart right out of your chest. So people laugh because he's done some wonderful crook things. For example, he started out and he went into the Boston Logan Airport. He got dressed in a security outfit and he put a sign over the drop box. This is back before credit cards were really popular and people used to make cash deposits. And he said, the drop box is broken. Give the bag to the guard. And he walked out with all the money. And then he went down the street and he thought, gee, I always wanted to be a pilot. So he bought a model airplane, the kind we used to put together with airplane model glue. Now you can't buy that because the kids were sniffing it. But he took the logo from Pan Am and he created himself an ID and he posed as a pilot for like 3 years. He sat in a jump seat, traveled all over the world as a pilot. And then the one that's the funniest, and he said this on the Johnny Carson show, so I can say it publicly. He negotiated with a hooker, and he said he didn't have any money. Well, he worked out a deal where she ended up paying him $1,000. I mean, this guy was something else. So if you haven't seen the movie, he's quite a personality. Now, I saw him just a few months ago, because one of his old videos, and one of his new is up on the internet. And his job is, he's a multi-millionaire. His job is he's one of the world's best security experts because he teaches the banks how thieves work. The FBI hired him after he'd been in prison in Paris and then was in prison in Sweden. When they put him in prison in the United States, the FBI went in. And he's worked for the FBI for over 40 years. Now, I'm not pitching being a crook, but there's a heck of a story there. And he tells me, and I don't listen very well, and he tells you, never, 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 one more time, never use a debit card. You are totally liable. Totally. You could lose your entire savings by using a debit card. Always, always, always use a credit card because the most you can lose is $50. And that's why Chase Bank has trespassed me across the country because they would not escalate my calls because their darn fraud prevention department was in my face so often I couldn't do business. So I tried to escalate up to Jamie Dimon, and I only got so far, and they say, you can't escalate any higher. And I said, I came from the manufacturing and the software business, and I ran major call centers. And if one of my people did not escalate a call, yesterday was the last day with the bank. Now, I was building a relationship with my local branch manager because I'm involved in a lot of businesses, and we were expecting a lot of money to come in. So I wanted to build the relationship. And I'm still broke, right? I mean, I invested $1.3 million. I had 3 companies with over 20,000 in each, and they all ghosted me. But we're on the verge of making literally hundreds of millions of dollars. So I'm trying to prepare the banking community for it. And they trespassed me. The manager that I built the relationship with was gone on vacation. And her dumb assistant who doesn't listen wouldn't listen. So I drew all my money out of the bank and she called the police. Anybody can call the police. And they trespassed me. And this is a free country, but if somebody who owns a piece of property and they simply say, I trespass them, they don't have to have any proof. Doesn't have to be the truth. They call and they take all these police departments' time and they waste it. And I'm talking to my 2 senators here in Arizona to create a law called FTP, false trespass penalty. And I'm recommending it's $500 for the first offense, $5,000 for the second, and then 5 years in prison for the third. Because these people are abusing it. So Chase Bank has got me trespassed. So what do? I go to the fifth largest bank in America. I build up the relationship. I've got one of their top members on my board of directors, and I open a business account. And now I'm dealing with the president of all of Arizona and all of Colorado because they need to learn they're not in the banking business with all their big ego. They are in the customer service business. And I run a company called Customer Service Excellence and Listening Training. And I have some of the best experts in the world, including, hopefully, I'm waiting for a final answer, Lee Cockrell, who created the happiest place on earth, Disneyland, Disney World, excuse me, Executive Vice President of Walt Disney World Resorts Worldwide, 43,000 employees. He's now retired and he gets paid $20,000 a day. And we were going to teach these banks how to do customer service. So none of these things do you have to put up with in crypto. Anybody who deals in crypto is a new age person. They understand how important relationships are. They understand how important rock solid security is. And you don't have to bow down to some bank that is making exorbitant profits. I mean, 24% interest on credit cards? Are you out of your mind? Where I operate in Japan, you see what's behind me. I have the only license in North America from the inventor called Toyota. And 1.3 billion Chinese use that technology instead of cash. They never had credit cards, so they never paid 24% interest. They pay no interest or very, very small because all they do is scan this thing and money moves. So the digital world is already here. The Chinese have been doing it for 10 years. Japanese, Korean, and they're cleaning our clock because in America, trying to teach people how to use this is like pushing a rope uphill. We're still fighting over who the rightful president was in 2016. Guys and gals, that's over. And the Asians are eating our lunch. You know why? They got a yearning for learning. And if you don't have a yearning for learning and somehow we lost it in America, you're not going to value education. And if you don't value education, you end up with a dumb rednecks who vote for a rapist and a convicted felon. That's what happens. You lose your democracy when this communist country is taking over the world. Now, I'm not pitching communism. I'm a die-in-the-hard American. I watched every single minute of the January 6th hearings, and everybody told the truth. And what the Republicans don't understand, every single testimony was a Republican. Yet 94% of the people didn't even watch the most important thing in your lifetime. So I wrote 3 emails to Adam Kinzinger. I happen to sit on 3 committees. We are the only nonpartisan, means we love everybody, means we're saving democracy, means that we're all for America. We invite Democrats, real Republicans, independents, undecided, everybody except the criminal MAGA. And we're a 501(c)(3) charity, and we are 2 501(c)(4)s because we have the only candidate training program, nonpartisan, in the world. So we're trying to save democracy. And I'm also working with Democracy Forward. You can check them out, democracyforward.com. 150 of the top attorneys in the United States with an 85% win rate against the lawlessness in this administration. 85%. So no more lies in this country. No more fraud. No more fake cryptocurrency that is just a bribe. No more name on a Kennedy building. No more algae in the Lincoln pool. No more. It's done. We're taking this country back. And cryptocurrency will assure us freedom of the financial markets because nobody can touch your money when it's in cryptocurrency. Nobody. You have the password, and like I told you, you got to have like 10 keywords that generate these long strings of security. It's like having 50 padlocks on Fort Knox. That's how safe your money is. Nobody from Chase can touch it. Nobody from the government can touch it. Nobody from, and my niece happens to be the head of cybersecurity compliance for US Bank. Even she can't touch it. Cryptocurrency is the safest thing on earth as long as you do it right. And I told you, you got the best experts in the world that'll train you for free. So keep your mind open. You know, what do they say? Trust but verify. Anything that's new, don't take every schlock guy that talks to you on Fox and lies to you. You know, they paid, what is it, $767 million. Never went to trial. They just admitted they lied to the American public. Why would you ever turn that station on? So if you want the truth, it's cryptocurrency. If you want freedom, it's cryptocurrency. If you want to become famous, it's sell NFTs. If you want to have your book explode across the world, NFT. If you're an artist, NFT. NFT, cryptocurrency, and I'm going to be a little prejudiced. Darcy Donovan is so drop dead gorgeous. Income Island. Now, you've got Ethereum, you've got Bitcoin, you've got some of the really big leaders, and even Chase, like I said, and US Bank, they're all in cryptocurrency. So don't believe the lies that you hear. Be cautious, right? Just like nuclear energy. I mean, if it wasn't for nuclear energy, we wouldn't have MRI machines, which are keeping people alive. But nuclear, as you well know, and why we're concerned about Iran, it can also end the world. So many things can be good in the right hands, and the same beautiful technology can be terrible in the bad hands. But if you do it right, I'm assuring you cryptocurrency is more safe than Fort Knox. And by the way, there's not much gold, if any, there anymore. So open your mind. Listen to AI. Listen to cryptocurrency, because AI can benefit 1.3 million refugees in Bangladesh. AI can help this leader who's here with us, not anymore, but he's got 300,000 people that he's helping in Kenya. So we are brothers and sisters. There are no borders. There are no financial borders in the crypto market. There are no borders in the NFT market. It's 8.3 billion people who are doing what God told us to do, and that's to love each other. And we're all trying to follow the golden rule. We're trying to collaborate, not compete. We're trying to end communism. We're trying to end oppression. We're trying to end war. And the answer to that is brothers and sisters trusting each other, translating. And I have a guy on my board, another commercial, who translates 150 languages with 100% accuracy. AI can never come close. They're all master's level people. And he's working with Sue and Kurt and Tim Taylor on the learning, what is it called? The learning, help me.
The Great Discovery.
The Great Discovery. And he's providing the white glove translations that they're phenomenal AI. They got one of the best digital AIs I've ever seen. And it works, I don't know, 97, 98% of the time. But the subtlety, for example, Ford introduced the Pinto in Europe, and they never talked to somebody who's a translator. What that means is small penis. You imagine introducing a product where AI calls it a small penis? I mean, that's pretty embarrassing. So if you are an amateur and it's okay to make mistakes, go ahead and do it if you got a hobby. But if you're running General Motors or Ford or a major company, my suggestion is you talk to Arbach International and you make sure you don't do faux pas like that. Just like I've mentioned 3 people that I trust with my life, and that's World of Tings Entertainment Incorporated, MetaRides, in Income Island, and there's many others. I know Mr. NFT. I know a lot of them. And for the most part, the leaders of these companies are they're super geniuses, right? I mean, NFT and crypto, you got to have more than a third grade education to play in this market. But they're all about freedom. They're all about collaborating. It's a wonderful space. And the only way to get involved, X, not X where the amateurs are, X spaces. And if a guy with a 2.1 degree out of UConn almost flunked out can get welcomed by these leaders in the world, and they used to call me QR done right before Elon's robot banned me, and I'm now open again under my real name, Jim Bannon, which is Mr. Call to Action. I am back on X Spaces, so you can see me there. And if I see you, just mention the Great Discovery or World of Ability or the blue collar cryptocurrency, and I will welcome you with open arms. Now, we were lucky in one of our last broadcasts, we had a guy help me with a name. It's Good Fathers Incorporated. What's the full name?
Oh gosh, the Real Fathers Inc.
Real Fathers Inc. Now, this is a genius guy with a big heart. And if you want to have a tough time as a dad, try having 2 daughters. That's tough. I love them dearly, but you worry every minute for everything they do. And it continues. I mean, one of them's 48 years old. They still worry. So it's better with sons. You kick them out when they're 18. But with girls, nah. You got to love them. Actually, you got to follow what they tell you to do for the rest of your life. That's the real world. But anyway, he runs the Real Fathers Incorporated. And he brought up 2 girls from, I think they were 10 and something. And they're now 25. And he did a great job. So his name is Gunnell. Is the last name Gunnell?
Myron. Yep.
Myron. Miran. So Real Fathers Incorporated, Myron Gunnell. And now I'm going to put in a link so that you can donate. Remember, I told you we would like to support the people in Bangladesh and in Kenya. So let me pull up a screen while Sue says something intelligent.
Well, this is the World of Ability Podcast Network. We are here with shows throughout the week. You can find out more about those if you go to YouTube and you can look us up there at Ability Network. Or you can also check the information on our website. But let's see here. The website for that, worldofability.canva.com. I just had that moment here of, I think I've got that right. So
if it's Canva, it's canva.com.
That's okay. So I'll get that link in the chat here as well in the description. And once you get that last piece up to the front here that you're looking for, I think I know we've got another show coming up here in just a half hour. So what final thoughts do you have here for this portion of the show?
Yeah, I think I'm going to say, if I told you today how much I love you, Sue.
Aw. Tell me more.
Today I love you. Now, we don't know about tomorrow, but today I love you.
Well, hopefully.
Hey, folks, we are lucky to be in the presence of the World of Ability. You talk about Mother Teresa with a heart. These are people that are Mother Teresa on steroids. They help vets. They help the disadvantaged. They help the super able. They help water skiers. They help everybody. And we are so lucky to have leaders like this in this free country.
We appreciate it.
And they're dumb enough to bring me on this show.
Because they were lucky to be surrounded by amazing people. We appreciate you very much, Jim. And we will be back. Are you able to join us again here at the bottom of the hour for the next rendition of Blue Collar Crypto? Beautiful.
Remember, the golden rule, you can never go out wrong and never lie. You can do anything in your life, but never lie. Because a liar, you can't trust. And when you can't trust somebody, there's no reason to ever have a relationship with them. Never lie. It's pretty easy. You know how you do that? You always tell the truth.
Beautiful. Those
Goodbye.
are words to live by right there. Well, this again has been Jim Bannon. My name is Sue Roscoff. We are here with Blue Collar Crypto. And until our next, like I say, our next edition, we'll be back here in 30 minutes. So we are here every Sunday at 4 o'clock and 5:30. So we will see you back here soon. Thank you so much, everyone. And as always, truly, we thank you.